I've seen how brutal the training camps at that level can be.
Right.
Have you experienced anything like that?
Yeah, every summer I work with guys and skate with guys. Bobby Butler plays in the Florida Panthers organization and has played many games in the NHL. And a guy that actually played in the league, Shane Toporowski. He's very experienced and has had NHL games and many professional hockey games. And I see how they train, and I train with them. So it's fun to be around those guys. You kind of get in the swing of things of how pro players, some of the best in the world, train. Guys that have had success for 10 years in pro hockey. How they train, they really know the mental toughness it takes, the strength, and the directions to go to get you to the highest level. So that's kind of how I go about my thing, and just try to be as good as I can be, and always improve. So
tell us about the World Championships under 18. You won World Championship.
Correct. Yeah, I played on a team, the USA under 18 team. And we had a tough schedule throughout the year. We played a lot of college teams, so it was good for an 18-year-old team to play older hockey players and kind of adapt to that sort of game. At the same time, we played in a few international tournaments, the 5 nations and the 4 nations, and then the year concluded with the World Under 18 Championships, which was in Fargo, North Dakota. I believe I played a bunch of the guys on Vaasan Sport. They were on the Finnish team. I realized that now that I got here. So it's kind of cool. It was a good experience. Obviously, it was in the United States, and we were able to win the gold medal. It was fun playing with the best players, 18 years old in the world. It was a good experience, a good learning experience, and I'm glad I could take part in it.
Yeah, the development program in USA has taken a big leap in the last maybe 10, 15 years.
Yeah, it's really come around. The way they run the program is very, very well organized. It's a 2-year program, so you go out there when you're a 17-year-old, and the whole team moves up the next year. So you play with the same guys for 2 years. Unlike some of the teams out here, who the guys are pulled in from their respective teams in different leagues. So we kind of have an advantage in some sense, but there's so many young players in the United States as well as around the world. It just makes for great competition in that age group of hockey.
Any NHLers in the team?
Yeah, there's 5 or 6 guys that are playing in the National League now. I know Cam Fowler plays for the Anaheim Ducks, Jerry D'Amigo for the Maple Leafs, Kyle Palmieri for the Anaheim Ducks as well. And then there's a good amount of guys in the American League as well. So, you know, I played with some very good hockey players. Hopefully I can be where they are someday.
You mentioned Anaheim and Cam Fowler and Palmieri. They played outdoors in California.
It's like I said, it's a crazy experience playing outdoors. Obviously, they were just in the Stadium Series at the highest level. Mine was college, but theirs was the NHL. But still, whenever you have a chance to do that, not many guys can say they've played in an outdoor game, professional or college or whatever level it may be. It's a cool experience. It kind of brings you back to your childhood when you're skating on the ponds with your friends and family. Kind of brings back some memories. But when you can play a competitive hockey game outdoors in front of a lot of fans and friends and family, it's a really, really nice experience.
And you got to play at Fenway Park. That must be amazing.
Yeah, the historical Fenway Park growing up around the Boston area. Embarrassed to say I'd actually never been to a Red Sox game before that or been in Fenway Park. I had seen it from outside, and I'd gone on like selective tours like around the area. So that was my first time being on the field and kind of experiencing what the Red Sox players are able to do for their season. It's an incredible atmosphere. It's a great stadium. It has a lot of history. It's kind of an old stadium, but when we saw the ice sheet there and were able to come out onto the ice, it was a sold-out crowd, 42,000 people. It was us against our rival, the University of Maine Black Bears. So it couldn't have been really a better scenario. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I read about that rivalry, that your fans did come to Maine with newspapers, and they were reading newspapers when they announced Maine's starting lineup.
It's cool when you're in college, in the heated rivalries. There's so many rituals that the fans do. They get into it with each other. You know, that's the fun about playing college hockey. A lot of guys go major, junior in Canada, but I really wanted to get an education for after when my career is over, and I chose UNH, and we are considered to have some of the best fans in college hockey, as well as Maine does as well. So it's cool to be able to play in front of students that you go to class with and people in the area that know who you are, and you meet them along the road, and then you see them at the game cheering for you. So it's a cool experience. It was a good 4 years.
And that's kind of a rare thing in North America, to play in front of, like, where you're from.
Right. Yeah. New Hampshire is about maybe an hour and 10 minutes from Worcester, Mass, where I was born and grew up there. So my parents also were able to come to the games. Friends were making the drive up. A lot of aunts and uncles were able to come to all my college games. And obviously the rest of the teams in the league are from the Boston area, the BU and BC and Northeastern and Harvard. And schools within the Boston area is only 40 minutes from my house. So my parents probably came to almost every game over the 4 years.
And now they can watch you via the internet.
Right. They'll have to go through the internet until they can hope maybe come out to Finland at some point in time, or Europe, or wherever my career takes me. They've been supportive. They love coming to my games, and I'm sure they would love to see Finland in Europe.
Do you miss your dog?
I do miss my dog. Yeah, I got a little puppy back home. I needed a friend in college, so I had him. Unfortunately, he couldn't make the flight out to Finland. It's a long story. It's a lot of money and a lot of, you know, it's tough to get a dog out here and ship him to Europe. But yeah, I miss him. I miss the dog and my family.